Funny story. So last week after I finished filming, Ozzy and I went out on a little date night and we went to this place on the Lower East Side that I've been to a couple of times that makes phenomenal guac. They put these stewed tomatoes on top of the guac. It's so good. Anyway, so we get there, we order some drinks, we order the guac comes out, no stewed tomatoes on top. And I'm like, okay, bummer, but I'm sure the guac will still be good. So I take a bite of the guac and I'm like, I don't think I'm being dramatic. I think this is insanely salty. Like there's something going on. It tastes like someone dumped an entire salt shaker into it. But here's the thing. I was super hungry and the guac is one of the only vegan things they have on the menu. So it was just kind of like, whatever, I'm gonna have to, like it's a survival thing at this point. So just keep eating the guac. With every bite, I'm like, oh my God, I can actually feel the plaque building up in my arteries. Like I can feel my blood pressure rising. Like I will have a heart attack in the next 45 minutes if I keep going. But at the same time, like, oh my God, I'm just like so frail, I'm gonna faint if I don't eat. So, you know, a bit of a Sophie's choice. I keep eating it, wake up the next day, full pufferfish. It's like you could roll me down the hallway, okay? I made a full sphere. That's how puffy I was from all of the fluid retention. And, you know, unlike the way I used to be, which would have been to like freak out and try to reverse it, I just go about my life. I'm like, whatever, it's gonna fix itself eventually. Now, to backtrack a little bit, something I had already been planning on doing was trying to come up with a cold tom yum noodle soup situation. I actually very much stole the idea from one of my favorite food content creators. His handle is Labco. I'll tag him in the show notes. So he did a cold tom yum noodle soup, which looked beautiful, but I knew I wanted to make our own vegan, very blush coated version of it. So I start my day and I start recipe testing. And this was a very testing intensive recipe. I had to like make so many versions of it. I mean, Ozzy and I were truly playing scientists. Like I came up with 20 different versions of this and we basically made a bracket, like, you know, like March Madness style, just facing off version versus version and then combining versions and coming up with the best possible version. Anyway, can I say version any more times? So over the course of recipe testing this thing, I lost over 5 pounds, which unfortunately for me is not fat. You can't really lose fat that quickly. It actually truly was water weight. I lost all of the water weight from that salt bomb that I ate. And I truly think it's because of this noodle soup, because when you see the ingredients, it is a godsend for depuffing. Plus it's so yummy and it is so hot this summer. So it's the perfect thing to eat. I can't wait for you to try it. Also in this meal, we're gonna start with a hibiscus latte situation. I've called it the blush latte because it is very blush coated and it's aesthetics and it kind of like literally will make you blush because it is the vegan collagen drink of the summer, of the year, of your life. It is a skincare superfood latte situation. Then we'll do our cold tom yum inspired noodle soup. And then we're gonna end our meal with, hear me out, it's gonna be good, I promise, chocolate covered lentils. I know that sounds crazy. Trust me, it'll be good. So let's get into it, yeah? Great. No, that's how I wanted it. Oh God, I hope I didn't get ice on the electronics. I should go check on that. Ice, ice, baby. You know, when I was in college, I was in a sorority. I don't know why we did this a lot, but we would take songs that existed and change the lyrics to them. And so, my pledge class did that song and it went Chi Omega, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Okay, let's start with our hibiscus matcha latte. I'm so excited for this. So we're gonna start with hibiscus powder. They also call this hibiscus matcha, I think only because it's powdered the way matcha is. And we're very much gonna start this like matcha. So we're gonna pass it through a little sieve, get the powder everywhere. That's definitely a part of it. And then I'm using hot but not boiling water, and we'll whisk. It's like Miss Congeniality. You know what? I actually meant to use like 75, 80 degrees Celsius water, but this is 94 degrees Celsius water, so it's almost boiling. Might be a blessing in disguise. I don't know. Let me put the kettle back. And while we're here, I have hibiscus powder on this Thai basil. This might be a good time to tell you that I burned the shit out of myself the other day. I went to take the lid off the kettle. Why am I saying it weird? Kettle. Let me say it 16 more times. I'm sure it'll sound more normal as I keep going. And the lid was kind of stuck and I was having a hard time taking it off. Then it like flung off and a bunch of 97 degrees Celsius water got on my stomach, which isn't even boiling. I mean, it's just shy of boiling, but it really burned me bad. I'll ask my editor to put a picture of it here. It's currently covered, so you can't see it. It's covered with bandages, okay? Like, it's pretty bad. It's actually so bad. I just want to brag about this for a second. When it started bubbling up in massive blisters, and I mean massive, like grape-sized blisters. Well, one grape-sized blister. One blister the size of half of a grape. Like if you were to cut a grape in half and put the flat side on my stomach, it was like that size. And then a bunch of little blisters. So I am being a little dramatic. Ozzy went, wow, you really weren't dramatic enough. I did not realize how bad this was. I'm so sorry. And he's right. I showed the exact same reaction that I show. Like I screamed, but I also scream constantly. Like if I stubbed my toe, I screamed just as aggressively. So he really had no reason to believe that this was a serious medical condition. Anyway, it's healing, but you know, I'm an injured person now. Okay, so we're obviously using the soy milk because I don't think I've ever made a recipe that doesn't include the soy milk at this point. It's crazy that I only started using this last year. Like you would think it just like exited my mother's vagina with me the day I was born. Like you would think I came out of the womb clutching this thing. That's how much I use this. Anyway. We're gonna hand froth some milk for this. Okay, so we have this hibiscus mixture here ready to go. So for the milk, all I'm gonna do is add some snow fungus powder. I'll link the one that I use. This in TCM, they refer to as either vegan collagen or vegan hyaluronic acid. I actually can't remember and it doesn't really matter. It's supposed to be a skin superfood. And the way I see it is worst case scenario, it does nothing. You know what I mean? Like it's really not that deep. Although I hear it's good for other things too. And then this is Tocos powder, which is really rich in vitamin E, which is great for your skin. Plus it has this like slight vanilla-y kind of flavor. It's like a little malt adjacent, I think, which as someone who's not American, didn't grow up in America, and English is my third language, I have to say one of the more confusing concepts for me to understand, and I'm still not there, is malt. Like I don't fully get it if I'm being really honest with you. Anyway, I'm gonna froth this. Also, the hibiscus, we're using that because, well, a few reasons. One, I think it tastes really good. Two, it's really rich in vitamin C, which is probably the single most important ingredient to support your own collagen production. And three, it's really, really good for water retention, which is very on theme with this episode. So anyway, I'm gonna froth this and I will try to shut the fuck up while I do that because it's very loud. And then I'll come back and tell you about the rest of this drink because it's a very intricate drink. But you also don't, like, if you don't want to add the powders to the milk, don't. You know what I mean? You could make it very simply with just the hibiscus, the coconut water, which hasn't entered the chat yet, but it will soon, and the milk and call it a day. Or you can do, you know, the very blush coated version. Dealer's choice. Okay, a few things. Number one, I feel like I should turn the AC on, but I don't, it's already so noisy. My asshole neighbors doing construction and there's just shit going on in the street. So I don't know if I will. Number two, the last time I made this, it also didn't froth well. And I'm starting to think it's something with the powders that don't let the milk froth well. It'll be fine though. You'll see why. Okay, I'm gonna try frothing this again in a sec, but I'm gonna go grab the rest of the stuff for the drink. Wait, by the way, something that I'm testing out for the week is dressing like my Venus sign. I know this has been a trend for like 20,000 years on social media, but I'm just now getting there. You know, I was really opposed to it for a long time because my Venus is in Cancer, and I always thought it was very like Wuthering Heights press tour coded. But then I did more research, and it's actually all about like whites and silver and pearls and comfortable and all these things. And so I was like, that sounds up my alley. So this is my kind of Venus in Cancer outfit. We have silk pants. We have this super loose, flowy, comfy top. It's a Bear Park tea dupe by the Frankie shop, and then the pearl hat, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is a yellow dragon fruit cream top that I made for the drink. I actually had multiple dreams about making cream tops for a drink. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, I guess. So for that, it's 1 yellow dragon fruit, 1 package of the Mori New Silken Tofu, 4 tablespoons of the Coco June Greek style protein coconut yogurt, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 pitted medjool date. Blend until pretty smooth, but you still get this beautiful kind of Dalmatian-y aesthetic to it, which I'm obsessed with. So we are gonna add that on top, and that's why I'm not too stressed about this milk not foaming, although I will try, or frothing, I'll try one more time. Okay, and then I have 1 regular dragon fruit, which I just wanna use for styling. I mean, look at that beauty. Maybe this goes there. I feel like I should put the knife down. It's kind of giving Dahmer, you know. And let me go get my ice. Oh, also the beauty of the cream top is number 1, it's cool. No, number 1, it adds a little bit of sweetness and creaminess. Number 2, it adds a ton of protein. Number 3, yellow dragon fruit, great for elimination, which also helps you feel less puffy. In fact, nothing makes me feel less puffy than, I'm sorry to be like graphic, but a really good poo. Oh, God. Oh no. Got ice in our milk. That's not gonna work. Oh my God, speaking of recipe testing, which, you know, we haven't been speaking about for quite a long time, but I'm just gonna bring it up again. I was recipe testing this chocolate black sesame ice cream. It was the worst thing I've ever had. It's so bad, I honestly think I have to throw it out. Like, I don't know what to do with it. It's just sitting in the freezer for now, but we'll have to try again. I don't know what went wrong, but something about it was truly vile. Okay, hibiscus on the bottom, then ice. I don't think I've gotten hibiscus on my shirt yet, so that's cool. Coconut water, cool, cool, cool. The milk that has not frothed. Oof, that is beautiful. And then we'll add our cream top, our yellow dragon fruit, high protein, will make you shit your pants. Cream top, exactly what everyone wants in a drink. Little dragon fruit garnish. That's pretty, right? She's pretty. I mean, look at that. I know it's spilling everywhere, but like really adds to the aesthetic. You know what I mean? Oh, look how beautiful. Okay. That is delicious. Oh, and obviously the coconut water. I mean, if you've ever watched this show before, you know coconut water, the ultimate depuffer. This is truly delicious. Like, I'm not just saying that. It is so good. It's tart, but sweet, creamy, but refreshing. It really checks all of the boxes. You know what it reminds me of? You're gonna think I'm crazy, but hear me out. Ice cream. It honestly reminds me of ice cream. It is so delicious. Did I put the ice away? I did. Okay, thank God. Okay, I think it's time for us to move on to other elements of this meal. But like, I love her. Okay, we're gonna move on for now. Okay, so we're gonna start by doing our chocolate covered lentils. But while we're here, I also wanted to try something else that I've never tried. So let me first get into why I did this. And you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I promise it tastes like a crunch bar, only more complex and interesting and way more healthy. Also, we're using this chocolate, although I guess you can use whatever you want, but I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this chocolate. It's by the brand Just Dates, and it has literally no added sugar because all of the sweetness just comes from dates. Like it actually lives up to its name. But here's the thing, we're gonna do, and I'm using the milk chocolate version of this, but you could use the dark chocolate version too. It actually doesn't really matter. The reason I'm doing 2 little ramekins is because I wanna try another version of this that I haven't had yet. So for the lentils, I got these crunchy roasted lentils. You could also roast your own lentils, but I just, you know, can't be fucked, so didn't. But I use these because I realize I'm not quite getting enough iron in my diet, and lentils are quite rich in iron. 1 package of this has 2 milligrams, which is approximately 11% of your daily value. It's a pretty good amount, you know, for like 1 tiny little package of something. Plus they have tons of fiber and a good amount of protein. But then while I was at it, I was kind of curious how it would taste with these. These are pre-protein crisps. Also another version I really want to do is with wheat bran, which apparently is the richest source of insoluble fiber, which is great for like speeding things along in the gut. But we're not doing that today because I don't have wheat bran in my possession. But we will try these 2 versions today. And I have had the lentils before. And what's crazy about the lentils is these roasted lentils literally have black pepper on them, and you can kind of taste it, but it's complex and interesting. Like, I know it sounds disgusting. I know it does. I promise you it's good. It's literally like an interesting crunch bar. Plus like so nutrient dense. Like how cool is that? Anyway, I'm gonna get a baby spoon because we're gonna mix the crunchies in and then put it on parchment paper and put it in the fridge to firm up. I brought 2 baby spoons because apparently if I don't dirty every single thing in the kitchen when I'm filming, then, you know, a child dies. So gotta do my part over here. Yeah, okay, these are ready. Whoa, this one's not quite ready. Okay. I'll put it back in the microwave. Oh my God. Something about having massive sleeves as you get caught onto things. I have this robe that I wear in the morning sometimes, and it has big sleeves like this, except the fabric is more stretchy. It's like that kind of modal. Is that how it's pronounced? Modal? I don't know. Whatever kind of fabric. It's so stretchy, and I just get caught in things all the time. Okay, I'll start by doing this one. So I'm just gonna open a package of this. By the way, these are a great snack too, and also great on top of salads and stuff like that. I can't overemphasize how disgusting this sounds. Like even just looking at it, it's like, is this bitch putting lentils in chocolate? Is she okay? And the answer is no, I'm not, but I promise this is delicious. Okay, I'm just gonna start putting it down in gobs, basically. Blobs. I don't know what the right word is. It's just the perfect thing when you're craving something sweet and salty and crunchy. The amount of crunchy, it really is like a crunch bar, only loaded with nutrients. I guess we could have made it into a bar shape, but whatever. That's fine. I like these little cluster balls. Okay. And then let me grab this. Yikes, I burned a bit of the chocolate. I think it'll be fine. And by a bit, I mean a lot. I don't know. I think I'm gonna start over. Should have paid more attention. All it needed was a few more seconds. By the way, I'm using the melt setting on the microwave for this. You can also use a double boiler. I, as you know, can't be fucked, so. I'll link these two. I actually ordered them a while ago per my therapist's suggestion that maybe having more crunch in my diet would be more satiating. And I kind of forget to use them. Okay, perfect. So I can't remember if I mentioned this or not. These have way more protein and less fat, I think, than the chocolate covered, than the lentils, the crispy lentils. The lentils have like a little oil added to them to make them crispy, but these have way less fiber. And I would imagine, oh, wow, actually quite a bit of iron in this. I did not see that coming. And always don't forget, really important to pair vitamin C with iron for extra absorption, especially when it's plant-based iron. But I think I recently read somewhere that even if it's animal-based, still absorbs better with vitamin C. I don't know how true that is. Someone fact check me in the comments if I'm wrong, please. I will say, like when you go vegan or whatever, people are always like, how do you get your protein? How do you get your protein? Which I find to be exceptionally easy. And if you don't know, go check out the protein episode we did. But one thing that is quite hard on a vegan or vegetarian diet is getting enough iron. Like you really have to be intentional with it. And iron supplements are something, like, in my opinion, you really should not supplement unless you're truly deficient. Like unless you get blood work done and a doctor tells you to. They're just so hard. I've been on them before and it's truly one of the worst experiences of my life. Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Maybe on Trump, but you know, not like a normal enemy. Okay, I'm gonna put this in the fridge and then let's get going on our cold noodle soup. So excited. Okay, so it starts with a broth that you have to make, a lemongrass broth, which I think is the key to the depuffing element of all this, because I remembered from like 20,000 years ago, my parents went to this acupuncturist who was like, you guys need a lot of lemongrass in your diet. Like you both have so much water retention. And our household became like a lemongrass farm for a while. Like we were having so much lemongrass all the time. Anyway, so this broth, it's very much inspired by Tom Yum. It is not traditional. Traditional Tom Yum broth actually starts with a shrimp stock. We're obviously not doing that. Now I've made a few different versions of this, and the truth is, it's quite forgiving and you can adjust it to your taste. So if you like it more tart, do more of the lemongrass and lime leaves. If you like it more spicy, do more of the bird's eye chilies, so on and so forth. But this is the best overall kind of base for it that I found. You start with 1 bit of galangal, which is similar to ginger, but it's a Thai thing. If you can't find it, you can use ginger. It will taste slightly different. not the end of the world. Chop it up. I went 5 bird's eye chilies. I've tried it a few different ways. If you like things really, really spicy, I would say you can go, I mean, truly up to like 10. That's very spicy. That's like if you were at a Thai restaurant, that's like when they put the Thai hot, there's like a billion peppers. That's what you're looking at there. I think for most people, 5 is good. If you like things less spicy, go around 3. Yeah, if you're like pretty spicy, but not trying to like shit your pants spicy, then maybe go for 7. 2 bits of lemongrass, but I used big bits of lemongrass. They're like quite tall. If you're using smaller ones, I would go more. And for all of these, chop them up. I used 7 fresh kaffir lime leaves. I have not worked with dry lime leaves yet. I plan on it, and then I can report back. I do believe when you use dry ones, I ordered some. I think you're meant to hydrate them first. I don't know. I think that you could go a couple more if you like things really tart like I do. 2 whole dulse leaves. Dulse is a type of seaweed, and I think it's the best thing for creating a fishy kind of flavor. 1 dried shiitake cap. 1 tablespoon of the Yondu umami sauce. I'll link it. I get it on Amazon. It's so good. 3 cloves of garlic and 3 cups of water. Bring that to a boil, then simmer it for a while, then turn it off, strain it. You do want to do this like the day before, or you can make a big batch. I often double or triple the batch and just have a ton of this broth sitting around in the fridge. It's also really good if you just like heat it up and drink it. Like it really will kind of debloat you quite quickly. But because this is a chilled soup, you really do not want to make the broth and then immediately have to use it. Another thing that I would recommend is pre-cook your noodles, because again, the whole thing is meant to be cold, right? But then you can store your noodles in the broth, so a lot of the broth flavor infuses into the noodles. Anyway, so you make that broth and then you strain it. And then for the soup base, the way that I found it to be the yummiest and most true to actual tom yum, which isn't it isn't creamy, it's a clear broth, you know, is a 1/2 cup of the broth, a 1/4 cup of coconut water, which sounds crazy, but hear me out. Tom yum soup has sugar in it. The coconut water creates that sweetness. Plus, like in a cold setting, it still has all the electrolytes, so it's really gonna hydrate you on a hot day. Plus, it's the perfect thing for depuffing, hello. And then 2 teaspoons of lime juice and 2 teaspoons of coconut aminos. This is what I found to make it taste like the most like real tom yum. So I'm just gonna squeeze my lime into here so I can measure out 2 teaspoons of it. Cool. So what I want to do is get the soup base in here, and then we'll prep all the add-ins and then combine everything together, if that makes sense. So I'm also just going to add a few drops of this shiitake mushroom oil on top of the soup. I really like this, the Algae Cooking Club stuff. Okay, so we're doing, oh, it smells so good. Half cup of this. I worry that's not enough, but I guess with all our add-ins, it'll be good. 1/4 cup of this. Wait. Sorry, it's 1 teaspoon of lime juice and 1 teaspoon of coconut aminos. I did the math wrong, but you know what? I think I'm gonna add more of everything in here just to bring the level up in the soup. So I might just double everything real quick. Cool, let's just set this aside and get all our veggies and stuff together for the soup. Okay, let's talk add-ins. So per usual, you can really add whatever you want. I do want to keep it somewhat authentic to real tom yum. So I do want to add tomatoes, which is one of my favorite things in tom yum soup. I have these little ones. I think did we use them in last week's episode? I think we may have. They were called strawberry tomatoes. You also could use big tomatoes and cut them into wedges, which I actually really enjoy in tom yum soup, but I'm just doing it this way today, like really for no reason. I'm gonna do a bird's eye chili, partially for garnish if I'm being completely honest. And then I have some mushrooms. They're actually not straw mushrooms, which is traditional in tom yum soup and one of my favorite things, but very similar looking. Wait, when you were a kid, did your parents tell you that if you crossed your eyes could get stuck like that? Because not only did my parents tell me that, but I also didn't know it wasn't real for so long. And I lived in a state of constant anxiety. I mean, I just stopped doing it. Well, no, I kept doing it for a while. I just thought I'd like play with fire. But I stopped doing it, and then other people were still doing it, and I'd be so scared for them. Anyway, I have some scallions that I want to add in, and these are already kind of like cut into ribbons, so I'm not going to cut them. I have some cilantro. In fact, I'll chop up some of it, and then some of it I'll put on whole. And I thought I'd add some Thai basil, which to my knowledge is not traditional in tom yum, but if you know more than me, please do correct me if I'm wrong. I brought an avocado to add, but I'm kind of leaning against it if I'm being completely honest. And the mushrooms I sauteed earlier, please don't judge the state of my pan. I sauteed them with nothing. You can add oil, but with sauteing mushrooms, something I learned from some chef at some point, I would imagine you know this, it's not like niche, is mushrooms actually have a lot of water in them. So it's better to saute them dry first and then add oil later. Otherwise the flavor dilutes. So I just never added oil. I just sauteed them dry until they got a little color on them. And then I set them aside again because I want everything in the soup to be cold. And then I'm using this silken tofu. It's extra silken. It's almost like custard. In fact, some of it might just like mix in to the broth, if that makes sense. I just think with the vibe of this soup, it's the best thing. And then I have my noodles, which I cooked and drained a while ago. With the noodles, because this whole thing is so light, I really recommend using noodles whose flavor you really enjoy. The noodles really shine in this, so this is not the time for like a shitty noodle. Like for example, last week's noodle bowl, the sauce really masked whatever noodles you are using, not today. If you're like not eating gluten, I would recommend using glass noodles. I think would be really nice in this. Buckwheat noodles I also think would be really nice in this, or rice noodles. And again, you can store them in the broth so you get more of the flavor in there. Okay, I'm gonna cut this package and just dab it with a little paper towel. I'll grab some of this Thai basil actually and chop it up too. I think that's all our add-ins, yeah? Am I missing something? Okay, see how this is so jiggly? It's very custardy. Truly just gonna dab this with some paper towels. By the way, real quick, also there's just water everywhere, it's fine. For the dragon fruit cream top that we used in the drink, if you want it sweeter, add another date. It's very mild in its sweetness, which I like for this application, but you might want things more sweet, so do keep that in mind. Okay, I think it's time to plate our soup. Bowl our soup? Okay. We'll add our noodles. Stunning. Another reason why you want to pre-cook the noodles is because you really want them pretty dry. You don't want a lot of the cooking water in there because it's just going to dilute the broth that's already so delicate. Tomatoes, mushrooms, cilantro, scallions, little Thai basil, a little bit of bird's eye chili garnish, some more of the pretty parts of the cilantro. Might do some gochugaru, some Korean chili flakes, just as a garnish on top. Oof. Along with probably some shoyu salt, because you know how I feel about that as a garnish. That's so pretty. Oh my God, I completely forgot about the tofu. I guess we need that. Just gonna spoon some of this in. About like underneath all this. Perfect. And then maybe like a little lime wedge. Because you know I like things tart, so you know I'm gonna add extra lime anyway. That can live there. Some kind of flowering bits of bok choy. There we go. You know what I'll do? A couple drops of this oil, because I think it sits so pretty on top. There we go, there we have it. Let's eat it, yeah? I actually have these adorable ramen spoons, so we'll use that. It's spicy and it's perfect. It's so flavorful. It's so refreshing. It's stunning. It's truly a work of art. It's remarkable what I've made. I'm so proud of myself. No, it's honestly so good. It's the perfect thing on these super sweltering hot days, which thanks to global warming, we're getting more and more of. I love that for us. I actually heard it's the hottest recorded year on Earth, which I understand is causing a lot of problems in the world, but personally kind of happy about it. I'm just kidding, obviously, that's a huge issue. It's so tom yum coated. It's so good. I just want to have a little bit of the tofu too. Oh my God, I just got so many chili flakes. Like up my nose from my palate, you know what I mean? Like that feeling. And I will say this, shiitake mushroom algae club oil, like not sponsored in any way, they literally don't know that I exist, is adding a lot to this. Don't mind me just getting packages. Okay, this is honestly so good, but in the interest of your time, I'll stop eating for now so we can check on our chocolate. Okay, now for our chocolate. I mean, how cute are these? This dragon fruit is just solely here for vibes. That's it. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That's the chocolate covered lentil. This is the chocolate covered pea crisps. Okay, I think we need to try both and see which one wins. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the tried and true, the chocolate covered lentils, and then I'll have the pea crisps, and then I'll tell you which one's better. It's so good. What? That is so good. Okay, now pea crisps. And I want to know which one's more crispy too. That's better. That's better. It's more crispy. That's the only reason. It's more crispy. Oh my God. Look at that. It's exactly like a Crunch bar. The lentils are just interesting and like shocking though. I could be here all day also. You know what's crazy about this though? Let me do the math real quick. I think one of these probably has roughly 3 grams of protein. Maybe even slightly more, because I didn't even factor in the chocolate. Like 3 to 4 grams of protein in one of these. That's crazy. That's good. Again, negligible fiber, which part of it was to get fiber. The lentils, though, plenty of fiber. Damn, that's good. They're both so good, as is that. As is the drink. I probably have chocolate all over my face. I have this problem where every time I eat chocolate, I get it all over my face, like literally all over my face. I don't care. That is so delicious. Honestly, there were no misses this episode. Everything was delicious. Make some of it. The soup might sound like a lot of labor, but it's actually not, because you just make the broth one time, you make a big batch, and then you can get the soup base together in like 0.2 minutes. Like, it's so easy. Trust me, I've done it 650 times over the past 6 days, so I know. Even if it weren't healthy, you still would enjoy every element of this meal, but because it's so healthy, you're gonna go crazy, I promise. It's so good. Okay, you know the drill. Rate, review, subscribe. There's a chocolate chip in the middle of my tomatoes. How fun for me. Love you. I'll see you next Thursday, baby. I'm literally just licking up the leftover cream top that's spilled on this.